I was quite confident. I thought I won that fight again. I think I've got Larry Holmes here. I thought I've won both fights. But then again, I've gone home with 2 losses on my record now, so there's not much I can do about it. I can just fight my heart out and do the best I can. But again, I'll always believe until the day I die, I won that fight.
First of all, I want to thank my Lord and Saviour Jesus Christ for his fantastic fight with Alexander. I believe I won that fight. I believe he won a few of the rounds, but I won majority of them. And I believe it was, what can you do, one of them things, decisions in boxing. We both put on a good fight, the best we could do. And you know, his country's at war, so people are siding with the country at war. But make no mistake, I won that fight in my opinion, and I'll be back. I've got a rematch clause. You know, I thank Jesus for all the victories he's given me. I've had a split decision loss with a good little man, and I thank him again. In the mighty name of Jesus, we go back home to our families, and we run it back in October. Good luck to Alexander. Well done. God bless you. Happy New Year!
Just a quick one, people. Before we get into this video, I want to give a special thank you, a special shout out to Adam Lord. He knows who he is. I ran a little goal on my live watch along with Fury versus Usyk. The goal was 1 super chat, 50 quid. You get a shout out on a video. Adam, my friend, I cannot thank you enough. It does go a long way with me. It is greatly appreciated. You're a long time sub. I absolutely just thank you. Thank you so much, my friend. And also, I did a live today and I had my good mate Base the Kid on. Haven't had him on the channel in a while. His channel is there on screen. People, I would absolutely love it because his content is brilliant. His opinion, there's very few people in boxing whose opinion, when I hear it, I take it on board. Really take it on board. And Base is one of them. I highly encourage you to go look at his channel. He deserves more than 2K. And he's not quite there yet, but let's get him close to 2K, please. I would appreciate it. People, let's get on to this. Or get into this. Intro fail. Boom. What I just played for you there, that is the first and the second Tyson Fury Alexander Usyk fight. And what do you notice about it? Each time Tyson Fury is saying, I think I won the fight, blah, 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 blah. You know, in the first one, he's mentioning the fact that they've got sympathy for him over what's going on in his country. Didn't have sympathy for Lomachenko when he fought Devin Haney. Didn't have sympathy for Boacek when he fought Ortiz. But for some reason, all of a sudden now it's for Alexander Usyk. And this time around, he's saying he got Larry Holmes, insinuating that, you know, he's been hard done by. The same way Larry Holmes, well, the first fight against Leon, no one was hard done by against Leon Spinks. Michael Spinks, the first fight, I've seen that fight, 15 rounder, a good fight. I thought Spinks did do enough to win. You could feel a little bit more aggrieved about the second fight, the Larry Holmes second fight. That was a split decision. A lot of people felt Holmes did enough to win that fight. But he's insinuating it's the same for him. Now, because obviously Spinks was not a cruiserweight, he was a light heavyweight who went up to heavyweight, but, you know, the same thing, a smaller guy going up to challenge the bigger man. Does kind of, you know, fly in the face of what he said about the smaller guys moving up to challenge the big guys. I know Michael Spinks was never a cruiserweight, but, you know, at the time, the cruiserweight division might have just started, but essentially the jump back then was light heavy to heavy. He beat the top guy, did he not? But that's what Fury is trying to insinuate. You know, when Tyson Fury fought Deontay Wilder, certainly the second, well, it was only really the second fight. There was no real excuses. Well, there was really for the first fight from Deontay Wilder, but it was more so aimed at Jack Reese, the referee, you know, saying that, you know, should have been, if Fury was down for longer than 10 seconds, in spite of the fact it's not 10 seconds, it's a 10 count. It can be as long as, well, it's the referee's discretion how long the 10 count is. It's not 10 seconds. That was the only real kind of thing at the Wilder brigade were really trying to come at Tyson Fury with after the first fight. And then there was the second fight, and Fury is not gone as bad as Wilder in terms of excuses made following on from their respective fights, but he's following the same path. And Tyson Fury following on from when Wilder was coming out with those outrageous excuses, and they were absolutely outrageous. I mean, Fury is bad, but, you know, he's not as bad as the Wilder, you know, team where the Wilder fans. Marcellus Wilder, the brother of Deontay Wilder, he's a chip off the old block, isn't he? He said that Deontay Wilder, the damage Fury did because of the loaded gloves was so bad that Deontay Wilder had an autopsy. I know we're coming close to Christmas, you know, the birth of Jesus. So Deontay Wilder channeled his inner Jesus, did he? An autopsy only happens when you die. There you go. That's what they were saying. So, he's not quite gone that bad, but he's not far off it. Fury, I always thought that Tyson Fury would be the sort of guy where if it came to it and he lost, that he would handle it with a bit of dignity. I did think that. I thought that if anything, John Fury would be the one who, if and when Tyson Fury lost, he'd be the one screaming to high heaven, it's a robbery, it's a disgrace, it's political. You know the way John Fury is. I thought for sure that would be John Fury if and when Tyson Fury lost. Against Alexander Usyk was kind of the one time over the last couple of years you really did think that. But I thought that would be John Fury. I thought Tyson Fury would take it in his stride and would look to regroup and come back and, have a good rematch and make a good account of himself. I didn't expect him to come out with, oh, you got the decision because of the conflict in your country, and then to run with that narrative, say things like it was easy, he was in control, this, that, and the other, and to cling on to that narrative as well, which, he said he needed to rush Alexander Usyk and really put a beating on it because he's not going to get the decision. And I think that he's already put that narrative in people's minds, because he was saying that long before, last night. He was saying that back in September. I think he was even saying it back even before that, oh, I can't leave any doubt this time around because they're not going to give me the decision. Well, they're not going to give you the decision when you didn't deserve to win the fight. You didn't deserve to win either fight, quite frankly. He said he'd come in, and be aggressive. Well, he was a bit more aggressive, but he wasn't the, kamikaze that, he claimed to be, where he'd come in gung-ho on Alexander Usyk. He didn't do that. Kill or be killed. Didn't do that. This is a guy who mocked Alexander Usyk for a low blow he received against Daniel Dubois, claiming his trunks were too high. And Tyson Fury comes in, and his trunks are nearly touching his waist. The hypocrisy is just, it's unbelievable, really. It's incredible. It really is. And now he's coming with this, trying to push this narrative, and Frank Warren is going to do it. And I eagerly await Simon Jordan. Oh, I'll deal with him, have no worries. I'll deal with him. But I eagerly await to see what the people like Simon Jordan, the people at TalkSport, are going to be saying with regard to this. Because already Simon Jordan, he didn't tweet that he felt Alexander Usyk won, or that Tyson Fury won, but he just said, I think words to the effect of, I don't know about that, hashtag Usyk Fury. So you kind of know where he's going. And he's already said that if Fury loses this fight, Fury's clearly not at his best anymore. So he's not going to give Usyk any credit, we know that. But the way Fury has been, this delusion, this, entitlement, I am surprised in a way, because I know Fury is a gaslighter extraordinaire. He's a very disingenuous person. He'll say one thing 1 minute and then the other the next. But I thought that underneath it all, he would be man enough to accept defeat and not make excuses. At the end of the day, he laughed at Deontay Wilder, and he was right to, because they were ridiculous. He laughed at the excuses Deontay Wilder was coming out with, but he himself is doing exactly the same. Not quite to the level of Deontay Wilder, but this whole, oh, they won't give me a decision, this, that, and the other. Mate, the first fight you nearly got knocked out. The second fight you got outlanded convincingly. The AI judge, the flipping AI, the artificial intelligence judge, had you losing by a country mile. Even I thought that was too harsh. That's even the AI judge. You've literally bullied a majority. Some of them will just, what for you anyway. But you've literally bullied the media into, simping for you. You have Chris Mannix, and, you pretty much bullied him in the interview you did. And I did say Chris Mannix does look like someone you'd want to bully. But nevertheless, you get Chris Mannix, who was already being extremely generous. I've watched the first fight back a few times, and his scorecard is absolutely ridiculous early on. And you're saying, oh, no, you can't do this. You have to count this. You have to count every punch. When people ask you hard questions, you throw your toys out of the pram. I mean, the self-entitlement is insane. I really didn't think Fury, if you had came to me a decade ago and said this would be how Tyson Fury would go, I'd say, no, never. He's not that sort of person. Boy, was I wrong. Because he didn't seem like that a decade ago. That's how things have changed. He's pushing this narrative now that he was robbed, that he won this fight clearly, that, he won the first fight clearly, which he didn't, that he won this fight clearly, which he didn't. And he's going to run with that. And I think that, I know Gareth A. Davis has already said, and he said it, a bit like Tony Bellew did when Anthony Joshua lost to Alexander Usyk both times with a big frown on his face, that, yeah, Tyson Fury legitimately lost this fight. If Gareth A. Davis is saying it, it's bad. You've lost. Because Gareth A. Davis will say all kinds of anything. You know, this is a guy who was trying to, you know, put, oh, well, Tyson lost, but, you know, it was only a split decision. It's only a split decision. Yeah. Mayweather-Canelo was a majority decision. Was that a close fight? CJ Ross, she's not judged since then, just so you know. And that was over a decade ago. So that was Gareth A. Davis. Tyson Fury didn't win this fight, and right now, I don't know what he's going to do next. I'll probably do a separate video and talk about that, give my 2 cents on what Fury does next. Do I necessarily care what he does next? Not really, because I think, like, I don't think he has this performance in him again. Not to say he's going to be shot, but I don't think he's got a performance like he had last night in him. And even then, it wasn't enough. So now he's just going to resort to trying to push a narrative. And if he does call it quits, he's going to retire with back-to-back losses that him and his little buddies like Simon Jordan are going to constantly push and say, oh, well, he lost. They were very controversial decisions, you know, as if, you know, he should really be retiring undefeated, which, no. He's lost twice. He's trying to say that he got Larry Holmes, that he got hard done by this, that, and the other. Listen, mate, you got outlanded in the first fight. You got hit with loads of big shots. You nearly got knocked out in the first fight, and you lost it convincingly. The second fight, you didn't come close to getting knocked out. You were hurt a few times, but you didn't come close to getting knocked out, but you got outlanded. Actually, if you look at the punch stats, I think it's only one round that Fury wasn't outlanded by Usyk, and he didn't even outland him. I think it was Eve. I think that was the first round. Every other round he got outlanded. Usyk landed at a much, much higher connect percentage, and he threw nearly 100 punches less, right? He outlanded you. He beat you. You won maybe 4 rounds. Now, you won about 4 rounds. 5 rounds being generous, maybe give you a swing round. But either way, you didn't win. So stop trying to gaslight people and just accept the L. You laughed at Deontay Wilder, rightly so. Well, people are laughing at you now because you just won't accept this loss. And the difference is, with Wilder, I can't remember if he really got and bullied anybody. It was just his team just saying, oh, you won, you won, you won. I mean, Ben Davis, and you think he was still a member of Team Fury with the way he was carrying on. His team were just, oh, you won, you won, you won. Fury, whoever doesn't, you know, bow with his feet in the media, you're banned, you're banned, you're banned, you're banned. Yeah, some mad at the people, that, isn't it? Yeah, mad at the people. I thought Usyk won. Get the hell out of here. Bully boy tactics, that's all it is. So Fury coming with this narrative. Let's see how long it lasts. Let's see. People have seen through it. Someone left a very good comment. I forget which video it was on. I think it was on it might have been on the Alexander Usyk video or the Karma video I did on Tyson Fury. And he said that if Tyson Fury had retired after he fought Dillian Whyte, which he actually said he would do, he would have retired, and yeah, there would have been, you know, that stigma against him for not going through with Joshua fights and Alexander Usyk fights, not ever fighting those guys. But it probably wouldn't have counted for much because he would have been held in very high esteem. He was still piggybacking off the success of the Wilder trilogy. He had a good performance against Dillian Whyte, Wembley Stadium, 90 plus thousand, I think it was 94. If he had called it quits then, he would be so highly regarded and respected, because although we'd seen some of the disingenuous behaviour from Fury, you know, prior to 2022, it wasn't as overt and in your face, and it wasn't as, I don't want to say it wasn't as bad, but it wasn't. I mean, he wasn't bullying, you know, networks to try and, you know, push his narrative. He wasn't, you know, he was gaslighting, but not to the extent that he would end up doing. You know, I think Fury, by carrying on, and I always felt that retirement against Dillian Whyte, I think in his heart of hearts, he was actually thinking of retirement that night. He stayed on for money and to do, I think, go on a victory tour. Ultimately, it ended because he ended up having to fight Alexander Usyk. I think in his heart of hearts, if he had retired that night, he would be held in very high esteem with the boxing fraternity now. Now, as the person, and apologies, I didn't catch your name, but now I think it's in tatters for the most part. I mean, he'll have his fans who think he walk on water, and they'll think that he can, you know, teleport to the moon and back in 5 seconds. Oh, there he is. He's got some moon rock with him. But realistically, the people who really know, have eyes to see and ears to hear, they know. They know. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that. Let me know yours in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed the video as always, people. Smash the like button if you could. Hit subscribe, of course, as always, if you haven't already. Peace.